334 Nahant Road, Nahant, Mass. 01908. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Gene Canty, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
And Rob Tibble, aye. Item B, vote to open the special town meeting warrant. I will move that the Board of Selectmen open the special town meeting warrant for the special town meeting on Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Nahant Town Hall, 334 Nahant Road, Nahant, Mass. 01908. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Gene Canty, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
And Rob Tibble, aye. Item C, we have a vote to add Section 3A MBTA Community Zoning Bylaw article to the warrant. And I will move that the Board of Selectmen add two warrant articles, as discussed, regarding the addition of a new section of our zoning bylaw submitted by the Planning Board in order to comply with Section 3A of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
You should have a brief discussion as to what the articles entail.
Yeah, I was going to say, should I just read them?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Um, Okay, Article 1, Section 3A, MBTA Communities, to see if the town will vote to add the following new section, Section 16, Multifamily Overlay District, a copy of which is available for review in the town clerk's office to Nahant's zoning bylaw in order to comply with Section 18 of Chapter 358 of the Acts of 2020 that added a new Section 3A to the Massachusetts Zoning Act or take any other action related thereto. Article 2. This is a zoning map amendment to see if the town will vote to amend its zoning map to reflect the new overlay district referenced in subsection 16.2, establishment and applicability of the new Section 16, multifamily overlay district of Nahant's zoning bylaw, a copy of which is available for review in the town clerk's office, or take any other action related thereto. We good, Dan?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Let's see. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Can I just add one thing,
Yeah,
Rob?
sure.
In addition to the copies being at Town Hall, we also have information on nahant.org, which is available to the community to review the proposed bylaw and all the information about what led up to that proposal. So
Excellent point. Thank you.
good information there.
Excellent point. Anything further?
Well, and just in addition, per usual, the Advisory and Finance Committee are working together to put a book that'll be distributed to every household in town. So it's going to contain their recommendation as well as the planning board's recommendation and the verbiage of the proposed bylaw as well as the map too. So that'll be another resource for everyone to have.
Very good. Ready to move on? Roll call vote.
Gene Canty, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
And Rob Tibble, aye. Item D, vote to close the special town meeting warrant and send to the town clerk and constable for notice posting. I move that the Board of Selectmen close the special town meeting warrant for the special town meeting on the Wednesday, November 19th, 2025, and send it to the town clerk and constable for notice posting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote.
Gene Canty, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
Okay. Item E, a discussion, consideration, and possible vote to appoint a new town administrator pursuant to Section 4 of the Nahant Town Administrator Act. And I will move that the Board of Selectmen pursuant to Section 4 of the Nahant Town Administrator Act appoint Allison Nieto as Town Administrator for the Town of Nahant and authorize town council to enter into negotiations for an employment contract for a term of at least 3 years. Do I have a second?
second,
And that brings us to discussion. I have a couple of things that I wanted to bring into that discussion as an opener. First off, we have a document that was provided to us by the Town Administrator Search Committee. It's dated October 15th, and it's basically a review of the multiple steps taken that have led us to where we are now. I want to review some of this just on a very brief basis so that it's in the record. It starts out that the committee first met on May 14th, 2025 with the Select Board and held a total of 10 meetings, including one public hearing. They sought incorporated feedback from the public and Select Board members at a public hearing on June 16th, 2025. They solicited input from town employees and committees via letter. And finally, they have brought the full benefit of their experience, judgment, training, and education to this process as citizens of Nahant. They received 22 applications. The committee individually reviewed all resumes and cover letters and jointly discussed all resumes and removed 16 candidates from consideration, leaving them with 6 candidates. Of the 6 candidates, one candidate was involved in a serious accident and informed them that he was not physically able to proceed further in this process. A second candidate did not return essay responses as he was preoccupied and eventually hired as town administrator in a neighboring community. They did receive essay responses from the other 4 candidates. Their responses were enlightening, and the committee chose to move forward with all 4 candidates. The final step was to have the candidates authorize a background check. One candidate replied to the background check that he was in talks with another town for employment and removed himself from any other searches. Another candidate wrote that he was withdrawing his candidacy based upon concerns with our background check process. The 2 other candidates returned background check forms, and these forms were Chief Furlong was involved, and he sent confirmation that they both passed initial query and social media checks. The committee notified the 2 remaining candidates of their desire to conduct interviews and scheduled interviews to comply with appropriate open meeting concerns. On the day before the interviews, one of the finalists informed them that he received a conditional offer to become the new city clerk of council for another municipality. The search committee conducted the scheduled interview with the last remaining candidate on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, and based upon that interview, the committee is forwarding Allison Yetto to the Board of Selectmen. First, I want to thank the committee for all of their efforts. The committee, including Robert Frary as chairman, David Walsh as vice chairman, Julie Tommy as secretary, and Jennifer McCarthy as corresponding secretary. We also thank Joshua Antrim, Robert Fields, Donnelly Leonardo, Dan McMacken, and Rob Steinberg. And I can tell you from personal experience, I did attend 2 of the meetings, that these folks were really focused on getting the job done. They took a lot of pride in what they were doing, and they wanted to make sure we had the right candidate. With regard to our decision tonight, I also want to offer a comment from chairman of the committee, Skip Frary, that, as he says, and these are his words, Allison hit it out of the park in our interview. She took any and all questions. She delivered appropriate and great responses. It really accentuated her depth of knowledge in town finances and the operation of the town in general. My final comment. I've been working with Allison as chairman of this committee now for several months, which to me, given the circumstances, became a job interview that has lasted quite a while. I've been very impressed. I have complete confidence that she will continue to demonstrate the very highest degree of leadership as to our new town administrator. And I'll leave it there. Jean and Patrick, your thoughts?
Yes, it's rather simple for me because Alice and I had kind of put you out in front at the very beginning of the process, and only because it required a process of a different protocol were we unable to appoint you at our last meeting. And the reason it was simple is because you transitioned so easy from Tony into your current position as the interim administrator. And you also had made a note here. You had in all of your resume and your summary had indicated that the future was most important to you. And I think for the town, that's what's most important is the future. And I think you can get that done. Congratulations.
Here,
Patrick?
here. I won't repeat my comments from last week. I did want to just say thank you to the Town Administrator Search Committee again. They did a fabulous job. They performed exemplary due diligence, broad recruitment, application screening, essay reviews, background checks, interviews. And they ensured integrity of every step of this process. I also want to thank the many candidates who submitted applications. They answered questions and stuck with the process. Their willingness, or your willingness and desire to put yourselves forward to serve our community is much appreciated, and wish them all the best. Finally, it was great enthusiasm. I congratulate Allison on being selected as our new town administrator. Your qualifications, experience, interview performance, and the dedication to the town of Nahant that we have seen as our finance director and then as interim town administrator made you the best person for the job. So thank you.
All set then? Roll call vote.
Gene Canty, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
And Rob Thibault enthusiastically aye.
Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate your confidence in me. I look forward to doing the job. And I just want to say that everybody who works for this town, it's a team effort. They're all really great to work with. So I look forward to continuing into the future.
It's great, Allison. I really appreciate your service. You've really stepped up as far as carrying multiple positions. I think another good thing here is that your current job title will be cut by approximately 50% once we once we have a new town accountant here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, your letterhead will be a lot briefer, a lot more brief.
And take off the interim, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's see. That brings us to
Robbie,
yes, sir.
how soon, so you just mentioned the cutoff in responsibilities. How soon do you think that'll happen?
As far as
Getting a search committee together or promoting.
well, I think Allison's set to go after she meets with Dan and negotiates her contract, if I follow your question correctly. And then it will be her job to find her replacement as far as the town accountant.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was asking.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I mean, I can't estimate how long it'll take to find the right candidate, but I see that process beginning immediately.
Good.
So I guess, yeah, we have a discussion, consideration, and possible vote to appoint No, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry. Item F, we have a vote to authorize the town administrator to act on behalf of the Board of Selectmen in filing applications and executing agreements for grants and/or loans for planning or construction of water pollution abatement projects or drinking water projects available through the Massachusetts Clean Waters Act and Water Pollution Abatement Revolving Loan Program. I'll make a motion. I move that the Board of Selectmen authorize the town administrator to act on behalf of the Board of Selectmen in filing applications for executing agreements regarding and performing any and all other actions necessary to secure grants and/or loans for planning or construction of water pollution abatement projects or drinking water projects as may be available to the applicant pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Clean Waters Act and Water Pollution Abatement Revolving Loan Program.
Second.
Second, discussion.
So I added this kind of last minute. I just sent it along today. You had previously authorized Tony Barletta in his position as town administrator to apply for these loans. We already do receive some loans through the Clean Water Trust, and that's been previously authorized by town meeting. So in order to submit, we're submitting a grant, an application for a planning grant. And so the selectmen just have to be able to vote and sign off that I can sign documents on your behalf now as town administrator.
In particular, I know that this request is attached to a current financial assistance application for clean water project. And the project description, I think, is worth mentioning. The purpose of this project is to conduct an infiltration and inflow study of the town of Nahant's wastewater collection system in accordance with Mass DEP guidelines. This project will result in technical memorandum to inform future capital improvement projects. If I read this correctly, Allison, I'm as far as infiltration, and it seems like, in looking at this, it sounds like does the battle ever end, or is this just further?
So all of this project is in response to the DEP memo that we received years ago. And I'm working with DEP and the town's engineer, Vicky Masson, as well as Wright Pierce, who we use as engineers on this project. This is something that DEP has told us that we have to do. And so now this is the first step in studying and discovering where there is infiltration and water flow. So we're getting there.
Okay.
And I have kept DEP in the loop in all of this as well, and they're approving the proposal from Wright Pierce before we move forward, just so that everybody's on the same page regarding this.
Excellent. Excellent. Further discussion?
Don't forget to take the interim off the certifying statement.
Will do. As of 2 minutes ago, I was still interim.
That's right.
So roll call vote.
Pat O'Reilly, aye. And Gene, you're on mute.
Gene, you're on mute.
Okay. We all right?
Yep. You ready to vote?
Gene Canty, aye.
Excellent. And Rob Tibbo, aye. And that brings us to ongoing business, Allison.
So there's not much in terms of ongoing business. We just met last week, so we had a big discussion last week. But I just wanted to mention a few things under town administrator update. A few things that I followed up on. So one was Gene had asked about when National Grid might come in to trim trees prior to the winter months. And so I spoke with Zach on that. And my understanding from Zach is that National Grid does that on every 3 years. And so they were in last year to do that. And they purposely cut back so that they don't have to come in for another 3 years. So we're not scheduled again for tree trimming until next year. So I just wanted to talk about that because I know Gina brought it up a couple times.
Thanks for following up on that.
Yep. And then another thing I wanted to follow up on was I had spoken about at a previous Board of Selectmen meeting was that there was a desire to have members of the Nahant Housing Authority attend a future Board of Selectmen meeting, just to talk about their operations and maybe the application process for, you know, obtaining housing. I had reached out to the chair and to the director, and they were hesitant to join a meeting. They were nervous about conversation being derailed and individuals speaking about their personal, you know, applications. I responded and said, you know, as a board and the chair could certainly curtail any of those kind of comments. And we really just wanted to talk about, you know, the Nahant Housing Authority's role and in their operations. I haven't heard back from them. So I just wanted to say I've reached out several times and have invited them to participate in a future meeting, and I have not yet heard back.
If I could, I kind of get into this a year ago or so, and met the same response. And all I'm looking for, or we should be looking for, is to see how it works, how it functions, and we should be able to do that. Nobody's looking to put people in harm's way. This is just a natural request, I think. Should be with any department.
I certainly don't think it's an unreasonable request, Gene. Possibly, Allison, maybe we can discuss this and try to find another route here.
Yep. So I wanted to say I was working on it, and just thought I'd bring an update.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Well, in that case, it brings us to citizens' comment. Anyone have anything they would like to share? Not seeing any hands going up. Allison, you might be able to join that FinCom meeting earlier, or is that?
Yeah, so actually, I had put myself off video because the chair was in my office and he couldn't start. They have a few people zooming in. He couldn't start it. So I said I would run down there.
Okay, all right. Motion to adjourn.
That's seconded.
Roll call vote.
Gene Canty, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
And Rob Tibble, aye. Thank you very much, everyone. I think this was a very productive meeting.
Very.
Go Celtics.
Thank
So
you.
Celtics, yeah.
Hi, Alice.
Thank you all.
Bye.